Hola mis chismosas y chismosos, and welcome back to another chilling episode of Chismosas Glam and Crime. I'm your host Sasha, and today's case isn't just about a tragic loss. It's about a nation that watched in real time as a young woman's dream road trip turned into a haunting true crime nightmare. This is the story of Gabby Petito, a bright-eyed 22-year-old with dreams of van life and a future filled of love, and then a man who stole it all away. This is Vanished in the Wild, the Gabby Petito case. Gabrielle, or Gabby, Petito was born on March 19, 1999. It's kind of crazy. When I watched this entire documentaries, I saw the case play out on TikTok, on YouTube, on the news. She is 1 year younger than me, and it's so sad to think of like how her life was taken. Gabby was from Blue Point, Long Island, New York, a free spirit, sweet, vibrant. She loved to draw, journal, and make the world more beautiful. Gabby had a bubbly energy, the kind of girl who radiated light, who smiled with her whole heart. And when you hear how her friends talk about her, you can tell how impactful she was. You know, she's one of those people that you meet and it's an automatic light to them. They make you happy, they make you smile, laugh, and just if you're having a very crappy day, that's the person you want to hang out with because they know how to make you feel better. In 2019, she got engaged to Brian Laundrie, her high school sweetheart turned fiance. Brian on the outside seemed like the quiet, earthy type, into nature, minimalism, art. He liked to sketch. He posted cryptic drawings on Instagram. Some would later say too cryptic. The couple decided to take their relationship on the road. Literally. They converted a white Ford Transit van and began what was supposed to be a dream cross-country trip across the U.S. Visiting national parks and vlogging their adventures, they shared social media, including YouTube and Instagram, showcased the perfect influence couple. And I say that with air quotes because we've seen it millions of times. What looks beautiful on the outside and is glamorous, gleaming, bright, it's not always the truth. Barefoot by the beach, sipping kombucha under the stars, living the aesthetic #van life dream. But behind the filtered photos and the edited videos, things were unraveling. On August 12, 2021, I don't know how to say this. Obviously, I don't know how to say this. Girl, you need to expand your vocabulary. Moab, Utah, police body cam footage captures Gabby and Brian after a 911 call reported a domestic incident. A witness saw Brian slap Gabby in public. In the video, Gabby is crying, anxious, spiraling. She blames herself, saying she has OCD, that she was being mean. I say that in air quotes again. Brian, meanwhile, is calm, smiling, even having a laugh with the police.
I just quit my job to travel across the country, and I'm trying to start a blog. I just have a blog and stuff, so I've been building my website, so I've just been really stressed, and he doesn't really believe that I can do any of it, so that's kind of been like I don't know, he's like down there, I don't know, we've just been fighting all morning, and he wouldn't let me in the car before. And then
why wouldn't he let you in the car? Because of your OCD?
He told me I needed to calm down, yeah.
So you pushed her and she hit you?
It wasn't like a push and she jumped on me. She was already, I don't want to, she was already swinging and I was just, a lot of angles, a lot of nails, a lot of rings.
Yeah, you got 3 scratches on your neck, you got 1 on your left side of your nose, you got 1 on your face here, and you got 4 bleeding on your nose. The domestic violence portion of it enhances it. Makes like a major pain in the butt, especially at you're 22, right? So I'm choosing not to cite you today. I'm not gonna release you guys together. I want you guys to stay away from each other tonight. Okay? She's agreed to it. Take some time to yourselves. You guys both have the exact same story as to what led up to the incident. So, taking some time tonight, specifically, taking tonight away from each other is going to be the major breaker in all of this.
Police ultimately separated them for the night, chalking it up to emotional stress. No charges were filed. Gabby slept in the van while Brian got a hotel room. This footage will later haunt everyone who watched it. And if you haven't seen it, you have to see it. Like, it is absurd. It literally shows what abuse can look like. Like, subtle, confusing, invisible to those who don't know the signs. But it's crazy. And when you do know the signs, it makes it even crazier. They get this 911 call. Cops get there. They're chatting it up with him. Literally, he's like nonchalant, whatever. And she is visibly upset, but yet not taking, okay. She's not trying to get him in trouble. And there's obviously something wrong. And if I'm not mistaken, in the video you can kind of see that she has some like a bruise. If I'm not mistaken, I don't remember if it was a bruise or people speculated it to be a bruising, but she's obviously really, really upset. And it has nothing to do with her OCD or her being mean or anything like that. He emotionally has pained her and obviously has done something to her, because she's uncontrollably like crying and hyperventilating, and you can see the pain in her eyes. It wasn't just something small. And I know later on cops said that they couldn't have done anything else because it didn't present as anything. But it's so obvious that someone needed to intervene way more than just separating them from one night. By late August, Gabby's family stopped hearing from her. Her last FaceTime with her mom, Nicole Schmidt, was on August 23rd. Text followed, short, cold, unlike Gabby. One message said, "No service in Yosemite." But she was never supposed to be there. Then on September 1st, Brian returned home, alone, driving Gabby's van, with her belongings in it. No explanation, no police report, just silence. Worse, Brian and his parents lawyered up instantly. Like, instantly. It was crazy. When her family started asking questions, kind of sort of like trying to figure out where she was and everything like that, after they found out that he had came back home, they didn't want to talk. Like, Brian didn't show his face. His family automatically at the door just gave everybody their lawyer's number and said nothing. Nothing. They refused to speak to Gabby's family. Not even a "we're sorry, we don't know." It was just stone cold suspicious. And for Gabby's heartbroken parents, pure agony. And you can see it in the documentary. They're crying. And when they talk about how his family just kind of sort of gave him the cold shoulder, it broke them. Because it is true. Just like how her mom says in the documentary. How can you look at another mother and not want to help? Because what if it was your child? You would want the parents to say something. You want them to at least get an explanation what they should do next, because they're worried about their kid. Gabby's story ended up exploding online. TikTokers began investigating. Instagram salute pieced together the timeline. The hashtag Find Gabby trended worldwide. And I remember this clearly, how everyone was trying to figure out what happened to Gabby. The FBI ended up getting involved, and the pressure was built. Not the pursuit, the pressure of the case was building. Like, I remember being so concerned and like following this case and having so many questions and wondering why things weren't happening or why was it taking so long to get answers. And it's crazy how fans discovered that. They realized she wasn't posting. She wasn't doing any vlogs, and she kind of just sort of disappeared with no warning or even like a little like I'm not gonna do YouTube anymore type of deal. On September 19, 2021, the nightmare came true. Gabby's remains were ended up being found in Wyoming Bridger Teton National Forest. I hope I said that all right. She was strangled, left in the wilderness like trash. And it's so crazy how she was found. I don't know if you know this, but okay, let's get into this part. I'm sorry. I'm trying to wrap all this together. It's not funny. I'm just thinking. She is literally missing. The parents aren't saying anything. Brian's acting weird. He hasn't showed his face. And people are looking into the van and they're like, where is she at? People on the internet are getting involved and they're like, oh, I gave a ride to Brian. I remember picking up him from here and here. And he said he was with his girlfriend and just kind of sort of traveling and yada, yada, yada. And then another couple was like, oh, I saw them too. Well, just him, not her. And he was caught on surveillance camera by himself. And this one couple remembers that they were on this road. So they go back to look at their footage, and sure enough, they see the van. They see Gabby's van parked on the side of the road. They give this information. The cops go to that exact location, and like a couple of feet in, they found her body, which was insane. The coroner later ruled her cause of death was manual strangulation with the blunt force injuries. She fought as much as she could fight, and she died alone. Brian vanished. He told his parents he was going on a hike, supposedly, in the Charlotte Reserve near their Florida home. That was on September 13th, and he never came back. But here's what gets weirder, because this story takes so many dips and turns and loops. His parents didn't report him missing until 4 days later. And when they did, they gave vague, bizarre answers. The media called them out. Social media tore them apart. Why were they helping him? Did they know more? Why did they lead police into the swamp instead of questioning their son when he returned alone? That is weird. Why are you gonna let this man just go into the woods and not say anything? Go to another hike and everyone's wondering where your fiance is. And the public was furious. Gabby's family was devastated. While they mourned, the laundry stayed silent, ensuing robotic statements through lawyers. And so many people, because they were looking for him, and so many people on social media were giving tips about, oh, I saw him here. There was pictures of people getting sightings of him and all this other stuff while they're looking for him to get some justice. On October 20th, 2021, Brian's partial remains were found in the Carlton Reserve alongside a dry bag, a revolver, and a note. Well, a notebook with an actual confession on there. He claimed Gabby was injured, that she was in a lot of pain, and that he ended her life out of mercy. Yeah. Okay. But of course, the coroner said that she was obviously strangled, and his story didn't match the science at all. The crazy thing is that when the cops went to go look for Brian, they couldn't find him. And then they asked the parents, and out of nowhere, it just so happened the parents find the backpack, the parents find his body, the parents find everything. But when the cops were there, they didn't find a thing. Horrible. And let's be honest, it was never mercy. It was control. It was rage. And it was cowardice. He took his own life with a self-inflicted gunshot. No trial, no justice, just an ending. He left too quickly. I'm sorry to say, I don't think people should die. I don't think people should end their lives, and I don't believe anybody should murder anyone. But this man didn't get to, how do you say this? Like he wasn't able to face what he did. And in unedited footages, you can see how degrading he was to her, how he didn't care. He was just mean, you know? Gabby's parents, heartbroken but fierce, became advocates. They created the Gabby Petito Foundation after to help other missing person and domestic violence victims. Gabby's face, her smile, her story became a symbol, a warning, a cry for help, echoing through every woman who's ever felt afraid to say, I'm not okay. And she did. I think she really was in this emotional bind where she believed that everything was okay. The case also sparked criticism of media bias on how many Indigenous and Black women go missing without a hashtag, without headlines. The world watched Gabby's case unfold, but so many others go unseen, and that's true. There's so many cases out there, and I know Gabby's father at first didn't understand what that meant, and he says it in the documentary. He was kind of shocked and surprised on like what people were saying, and then he looked into it and he was like, oh my god, this is so true. He ended up doing his best to advocate for those people and try to find those people and get justice for those people. The other crazy thing is that in Brian's backpack, there was a note, like a letter type deal of his mother saying, burn this after you read it. And she also claimed, like, I'll help you if you need help. If you need to hide anything, just let me know. And I'm pretty sure she knew.
Alrighty guys, thank you so much for hanging out with me today and listening about Gabby's story. Her case touched so many of us, and it's a reminder that too many people are still out there missing and deserve the same attention. Let's keep sharing, keep caring, and never stay quiet. Catch you next time, Chismosas. Stay safe and stay nosy.